let us then look upon the chaotic, in other words, let's look upon the chaotic rules that we live under calmly. Okay, this is what it's saying. You're not going to really understand this, but I want you to calmly let me tell you the chaotic laws you all operate by. Now, just pretend somebody came into my body. Let's say there's a higher being that knows a little bit more than us. It's not me, but it's using my body right now as a communication medium to communicate to you. And I'm listening just like you. So if you listen to me like it's a conversation instead of me reading the course, you'll be amazed at how you hear the course like you've never heard it before. Look at it like I'm just having a conversation with you. And I'm telling you in this conversation that I'm going to bring all the laws that create all the problems you think you have to light, but you're not going to understand it because something that creates chaos in your life really is not meaningful. And what I'm about to tell you is all the obstacles we have to reason and to truth. I'm going to tell you the blocks to your knowing the truth and your having reason. That's what it says. Got that? Okay, then it says, we're going to look at this calmly. So even though I'm going to tell you the crazy stuff that we believe that keeps us going through the changes we're going through, but I want you to just calmly listen to it. And then the Spirit says, I want you to look at what I'm saying calmly, that we may look beyond the laws of chaos. We're going to understand what the laws of chaos are, but we're not going to try to understand what the laws of chaos maintain. We're not going to try to understand what these rules are maintaining. What we want to do is just look at it calmly, understand how crazy it is, so you can go beyond it. You're going to look at what we do calmly, what we think calmly, see how insane it is, and then go beyond it. Then the Course in Miracles says, it's essential. Did it say essential? It is essential it be understood what the laws of chaos are for. In other words, it's very important for you to understand why you made up everything the way you made it up. Because I want you to understand that all the rules that the world made up, it's their purpose to make meaningless and to attack the truth. So all of the laws of chaos that rule the world, the Course in Miracles says that they were just made, absolutely made, to make everything really not mean anything. And then we get so caught up in things that don't mean anything that we attack the truth. So now we believe in the laws of chaos to the point that when someone tells us the truth, we'll say they're crazy and we'll attack. Like if someone says, you are a very powerful being connected to everything. Your thoughts, feelings, and emotions create your perception and your reality. You are eternal. You are unlimited. You cannot die. You are a being that's inhabiting a body because you want to know what it was like to be separate. Now you are in what appears to be a separated world, and you don't know that your thoughts are creating your reality, so you're having all these thoughts that's drawing things to you that make you unhappy, that you're blaming other people for. And when someone says that to us, because he says we're so in the chaotic law, we go, that's crazy. You are crazy. Let me out of here. Then it goes on to say, I like the next sentence, here are the laws that rule the world you made. So the Course is getting ready to tell us the laws that rule this world we made. Now, when I used to hear that idea of we made the world, that used to sound really intense to me. But let me tell you how you can make it simpler to understand. Would you agree pretty much that your world is your perception of it?
Yes.
So you made your world. That's all it means. Okay, got that? That was easy, wasn't it? We got right to that. Right. So if I make my perception and I live within my perception, then I really am making the world. So he says, well, let me tell you the rules that's making up the world that you made. And then he tells, then he says, then we're given instructions. He says, here are the laws that rule the world you made, yet these laws do what? Govern nothing. These laws that you made up need not be broken. You just merely should look at the laws that you have made and go beyond. The Course says a law is a rule. So sometimes when I read the Course, I always substitute its definitions for the word, and then it goes something like this. Here are the rules that rule the world you made. See that's a different slant. Law, rule, What you mean law, rule? Oh. So that means that the rules that, okay, let's say, here's a great example. Cheryl, the rules that you made up about anything, the course says that they really don't govern anything. Like for instance, I made up the rule that my partner should not go to the movies with anyone else but me. That's the law. And there is severe punishment when you break my law. I will withhold, in most cases, my dysfunctional love from you. Okay, now, you won't get a chance to experience the worst love on earth tonight. Okay. Some people make you mad just so that you'll stay away from them. It's a plot, it's a plan. All right. So that means that if she's made the rule up that I shouldn't go out with anybody else to the movie, well, that law, that rule that you made up, it doesn't govern anything. It doesn't really have any effect. It doesn't have any power over me about whether or not I go to the movie or not. And that's what we call betrayal. We call betrayal nothing but a person not keeping the rule that you made up for them that you believe that they should do for your own happiness. See, so her rule about me didn't govern anything. And I'm telling you that that's true about 99% of everything the world has taught you since you've been born. It was just made up. So now you feel guilty and sinful if you wear your dress too short. But that's just made up. Hark! Is there a voice out there?
There's a voice.
Is there anyone out there?
Yeah.
Notice that before I started letting this come through me, how much more maybe some of you were awake. But now you felt the veil dropping. Right? Because that's what we always do when the truth starts to reveal itself to us that we're not ready to do it yet. We just drop the veil and we don't hear it. But someone always does. Someone always does. And then they wake up. And they wake up for everybody. The problem is, when you wake up, you see you were in a vat of poop. And that's kind of disheartening. When you thought you were eating juice, you know what I'm saying? And you find out you were actually in a vat of poop. And then you go, oh my God, how did I get myself in this situation? This situation poop. And then you try to wake up the friends of yours that are just sleeping in the poop, and then they attack you for being insane. They think the smell is, bear feces. Okay, now. So that means I don't know how to break it like Spirit says, I don't know how to break it to you, but none of the rules that you made up for anybody govern them. And they can break your rules at any time, in any place. And as soon as you realize that, you won't be so shocked by what people do. You get shocked because you think your rules, let's say you, I'm talking to generic you, you think your rules actually have power over them, and you don't realize they're just giving you that power because they feel like they're getting something mutually beneficial to them that makes it worthwhile for them to act like you have some control over them. And as soon as you displease them enough, they will show you that it was an illusionary power that you thought you had over them, and they'll no longer do what you say. And they don't care how upset you get about it, and you freak out because you were under the illusion that you had some kind of control. You think you had like I said, law of chaos. You really believed that the rules you made actually governed something. And then the course says, now what do you do about that when you realize that that's true? Well, the course says you don't break the rule. It's like I know the rule about you only should cross the street when there's a certain signal. That doesn't govern me. I just realize it's a rule, and it doesn't govern me. So the truth is I don't have to break it. I just need to look beyond it and go beyond the rule. In other words, I no longer want to see it as if my rules for any of you govern you in any way. So I've looked at the rule, and now I'm just going beyond it. I'm not going to use it anymore, personally. Anybody that has an intimate relationship with me will tell you I give them the Earl Purdy speech. And the Earl Purdy speech is basically this. If you want to be close to me, you have to understand I'm here to love everybody. If you're going to be with me, you have to understand my purpose is innocence and peace. And if you're going to be with me, I'm going to do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want to do it with, anytime I want to, and I give you the exact same blessing. If you can't live with that, don't try to get too close to me, because you're going to hurt yourself and you're going to hate me. I will not be controlled, and I will not try to control you. It really weeds out my dates. I'm one of these people, when women break up with, they never try to come back to me. They really don't. Their life gets better. I can't tell you, my wife was able to make a move that ultimately we decided to end our marriage because of the things she said that I taught her through my teachings that gave her the power and the strength to be true to herself and to do the thing that she really felt like she really needed to do, which was lead me.
You're a good teacher.
That was one of my proudest moments as a teacher. There's nobody harder to teach than your spouse. Because there's no way a person is going to really get the truth and not really do what they feel is best for them and everybody else. Fortunately, I was in the truth deep enough to also want her to do what made her happy. You know, because I married the daughter of a Baptist minister. And we started dating when we were 14 years old. She was like the original childhood sweetheart, but I was the bad boy. I played in the band, had the striped pants, I had the afro so big I couldn't hold my head up. I was so glad when that band passed by. I didn't realize I was just gonna cut my hair. But sooner or later you get to the point that you love somebody so much that you want them to be happy no matter what, even if it's without you. I realized I was being merciless to stay with somebody I wasn't happy with, show them my unhappiness 24 hours a day in one form or another. I didn't realize I was a torturer. I thought I was the one that was being tortured. And I realized that my sad sack personality was torturing to them. They were looking at me and never seeing a witness to their innocence. They were looking at me and they were saying, I must make people really unhappy and I'm not a really good person to be around. I can look at my partner's face and tell I'm not exactly a good time Harry. So I realized I was constantly, unconsciously showing my wife through my unhappiness because she didn't act out some script that I believe she should do. And it worked both ways. I'm not making myself that's the bad guy here. She's just as much her fault. Let's get that straight. This is equal opportunity crazy stuff. All right? So I'm not going, oh, I was the one and she was just the most perfect night. You know, she had to have some karma. I was a husband. So I don't know many people that can accept that simplicity of a condition of being in a relationship if they want an intimate. And I'm saying intimate, when they get really close to me. And I have a hard time sometimes giving it as much as I want it. You know, so even though I wanted my freedom, I sometimes feel my jealousy and possessiveness try to come up. I found that I was much better at giving it than taking it. That was a great lesson, you know. Oh, you want total freedom? You know, do everything, anything you want to do as innocently as you want to do it. You know, okay, then I would meet women like that. Okay, all right, let's go. I'm studying the truth just like you. We're going to do this. Then I would find my desire to be special would come up, and I would get upset when I saw them giving somebody else more attention than they were giving me. But I couldn't attack them because that wasn't my goal. So I had to turn within and let go of one of my rules that I made up that don't govern anything and attack the truth. So I had to get to the point that even though I was hurt, jealous, and upset, I still wouldn't try to control the other person through my hurt, jealousy, and upset, because I didn't want her to start feeling guilty about expressing herself because she cared whether or not she hurt my feelings. Does that make sense there?